Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We begin with the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. My name is Abdullah Muslim, and this program is your program. It's our program. It's Ramadan. Ramadan, the origin, the practice, and the benefit. You know, in the last episode, I was explaining some more aspects of Ramadan. And I was telling you it was the month in which the Quran was revealed. It took the Quran, it was over 23 years that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ received revelation. But the first revelation came during the month of Ramadan. Okay, it's not that we named the practice Ramadan. Ramadan is actually the practice, or when it's a month in the Hijri, the moon, the calendar based on the movements of the moon, the phases of the moon. And that's when it began. And as I told you, we're encouraged to read the Quran during these days, during the month of Ramadan. Now, I also mentioned to you that the Quran is divided into 30 juz, or chapters. Excuse me, not chapters, 30 segments. Some of them containing one chapter, I believe, two chapters, some containing 3, some containing more. And what happens is, because the chapters are divided up into different lengths, what happens, that's why, you know, some are very long, like Surah Al-Baqarah, which has 286 verses, and some are very short, like Surah Al-Asr, which has only 3 verses. Okay, so, and all of them are very significant. You know, listen, one of the things I want to encourage you to do, if you're not a Muslim, the Muslims are going to read the Quran, inshallah. The practicing Muslims, they have the time, they're going to read the Quran. But if you're not a Muslim, I want to encourage you to get one. You can write away to a Muslim organization and they'll send you one for free in your language, whatever your language may be. It doesn't matter. The Quran or tafsir is available in translations, or available in all languages. I don't think there's a single language that you can't find it in, even Inuit, which is the language of the Eskimos up in Alaska. So I want to encourage you to just get one. Get it as an intellectual exercise. And then sit down and read it for yourself. Don't let someone who doesn't know anything about Islam tell you what Islam is about, as goes on in my country. In my country, they have so many Christian ministers who they say they lie about Islam. They say that that Muslims are the Antichrist. Really? We're the Antichrist? We believe that Jesus is going to be resurrected. We don't believe that he's God. We don't believe that he was crucified. We believe that God took him away and saved him from crucifixion, but that he will be resurrected. Now, I'm using basic language here. Language is a little bit more technical than what I'm saying. But what I'm talking about is Ramadan. Read for yourself what we the Muslims believe. Do we really believe in just killing innocent people? How can we do that? When the Quran says that if you kill an innocent person, it's as though you've killed the whole of humanity. Do we really believe, as some Christian ministers assert, that you should just kill any non-Muslim person any place you see them? How can we believe that if they're not a Muslim? And the Quran says specifically and precisely that there is no compulsion in religion. Muslims do not have a history of going into other people's countries and even imposing our belief system on them. We don't even believe in doing that, as has happened with so many other belief systems, I'll say. Do we really believe that Muhammad is the only prophet of God? No. Do we believe that the Quran is the only book that has the truth in it? No. What we do believe is that the Quran, as it states in the Quran, was sent through Prophet Muhammad for the purpose of making the other books clear. I know it did it for me. Listen, the things that we do, if you would read for yourself what we do, you would see that there's a lot of people lying, telling outright lies about Muslims. Are we terrorists? Quran, read the Quran and see if we're terrorists or not. We're not allowed, if we're defending ourselves, we're not allowed to kill old people. We're not allowed to kill women. We're not allowed to kill children. We're not allowed to have what Western countries generally do, which is called scorched earth policy, where you just destroy everything. We're not allowed to kill animals. No, we're not. We're not allowed to kill non-combatants if you've got nothing to do with it. We're not allowed to do. All this information is in the Quran. More than 6,000 verses, 114 chapters. Okay, read it for yourself. You don't have to buy it. You can look in a phone book, or you can go online. Look up an Islamic organization, almost any one of them, and just tell them, I want you to send me a Quran, please. And they'll send it to you. Now, I'm encouraging you to do this because I'm going to take a little bit more here. I'm going to take an extra step, and I'm going to ask you not just to read the Quran, read it with your Bible. Put the Bible next to it in the Quran, all right, like I did when I was a Christian, all right? And I read the Quran and the Bible together, and the Quran made things that I read in the Bible clear. Maybe later on I'll tell you some of the things it made clear for me. But I'm also going to encourage you to fast with us during the month of Ramadan. Not the whole month, not the whole 29 or 30 days. Just do one day, maybe a week. Try a day or a week with us. If you know a Muslim family and you're not hostile towards us, okay? Or you know a Muslim family. Like one time, my wife, she was in a department store in New York, and a Jewish woman came over to her, because my wife always wears her hijab, her properly, the clothes that conceal her as a Muslim woman, conceal her jewels, the parts that nobody's supposed to see other than her husband, okay? Or maybe her sons, if she, or her children, or her father, or her uncle, and that's it, or her brother, okay? But for her to just be going out in the street and showing her jewels, the parts that attract men, all right, is incorrect. So she was in the store. She was wearing her hijab. And this Jewish lady came to my wife. She says, are you a Muslim? My wife said, yes. She says, can you answer some questions for me? My wife said, yeah. She says, why did your husband force you to wear this clothing? My wife said, my husband didn't force me to do anything. She says, well, why would you wear this type of clothing in the 20th century? Because this was in the 20th century. It's some years back, more than 20 years ago. She said, because God encourages me to do it. God has told me how I should dress as a moral human being. God has told me how I'm supposed to take care of my family. God has told me how the things that I'm supposed to do in order to help the society to avoid a lot of the things that occur in the society. And she got into this conversation. Now, the reason she found out that the woman was Jewish, because they became friends. Now, this lady never, as far as I know, accepted Islam. But she didn't accept the narrative that had been perpetuated against Muslims either. She let it go. And you have to understand, the Quran says there are many amongst the Jews who are righteous people. This is what the Quran says. The Quran says that those who are closest to Muslims in their love for humanity, all right, Or who? The Christians. Because they love humanity. Look at the love that Christians often give, how much charity they pay. This is what we believe about humanity. So why would you lie on us like you do? Why would you say the kind of things that you say about us? Look, Ramadan is a time when we read about what it is we're supposed to be doing, and if you would just stop lying on us and just let us do our job, which is to be good, and to show you in our behavior what it is to be good, you find out that the whole world will become a better place. Come on and practice a little bit of Ramadan with us. Peace be unto you.